Simpson you are. Yeah, they shaved you and you've got a little tube.
Still gorgeous, aren't you?
What did the vet just say? She's everybody's favourite.
Yeah.
Not surprised. Tell Nunky what's happening.
Henny, you coming home?
You're coming home.
Coming
So
home.
Mama can look after you, yeah. Okay, so as you can see, I've loosened the collar. Okay, so we're going to be filming Henry today with her O-tube. So I've just dressed the wound and given it a clean. So I've just loosened the collar and just letting it sort of hang for a second. And I've taken it out of this little loop. And you're going to have your feed, aren't you, Henry? Okay. So to start off with, I've got 3 syringes. So I'm going to use... Stay there, darling. That's it. Good girl. So I've got this syringe here, which is empty, and I will use that to just pull back slightly on the O-tube, as you've been shown, to check for negative pressure. I have 1 syringe containing lukewarm tap water, and I need about 3 ml of water in there, so just going to get rid of any air. That's my first flush, so I put them in order that I'm going to use them so I don't make any mistakes. And then I have about 5 ml of tap water in here for my last flush. Next I have my Royal Canine Recovery liquid, milk. So I've drawn up 20 ml of that one there and 10 ml there, and I've popped them in the warm tap water just to warm them up so it's not cold on her little stomach. And now I'm going to feed her. Okay, so I've got these 2 ports here. I've got these 2 ports here, so I can use either one, but the main thing to do is make sure that you occlude like this when you are, like that, when you are putting a syringe on, to make sure no air gets in. So every time you take a syringe off or put it on, you need to occlude it, okay? So it just opens like that. And so while we're occluding it, I put the syringe on. Okay, so my syringe is on. Okay, so I can let go of the kink that I had. And now I'm just going to pull back to check for negative pressure. Yeah, I can't pull anymore. So, and as you can see, she just burped. So there we go. I'm going to take this syringe off and start with the flush. So occlude again. I put the 3 ml syringe on. I now have the 3 ml syringe on, and I'm going to flush very slowly. Sit still, darling. Very slowly. She's very good. Just give them encouragement. Well done, Henry. You're doing so well. Sit down, darling. Okay, so that's the flush. Henry's busy looking at pigeons. So now we're going to start with our feed. And as you can see, she's pretty happy. It's nice and warm, so it's just not irritating her. And just slowly push 1 ml every 30 seconds. Good girl, Henry, good girl. So she is a girl cat, but when we first got her, oh, she's got a cold as well. A few vets sort of said, you know, she's a boy. So, and unfortunately, by the time that we went to get her neutered and found out that she was indeed a girl, the name had stuck, and she quite likes it. So we get quite a few strange looks, but yes, she is a Henry, aren't you, darling? She's the 9th Henry. It's just all about patience, really. I've just popped on my next syringe, and as you can see, she's still quite happy. So again, a ml every 30 seconds. So the whole time you're doing the feed, just check that there's no lip smacking or looking like they're going to vomit. If there is, then you need to stop. So now I've just popped this syringe on, which is the tap water again. I'm just going to flush that through to make sure nothing sticks in the tube. And as you can see, she's still quite happy. So there we go. And I have now just replaced the collar, just done it up around her neck, which she will shake. You just want to protect that wound area. And I've just sort of done it up here. And that's Henry had her feed, haven't you, darling? So Henry was diagnosed after a crisis with diabetes about 2 weeks ago now. She had a real crisis, otherwise being fairly fit and well. She has feline asthma, which we now know is sort of a lung disease rather than real asthma, and she has an inhaler, which may or may not have helped towards the diabetes, we're not sure. So as you can see, so she has newly diagnosed diabetes. So this is the poor little love's diagnosis. So diabetes, she was in diabetic ketoacidosis, hypovolemia, so she had low volume, dehydration because she'd stopped eating, ketones, hyperkalemia, so low potassium, we were giving her potassium supplements, urinary tract infection and possibly an infection in the gallbladder, which is very common in diabetic cats. So and it's the hyperbilirubinemia and the hepatic lipidosis, and the cholangiohepatitis, which is very specific to cats. We were very lucky. We managed to get her to Lumbury Park Vets in Hampshire, in Alton, and they took the best care of her, as did Vets for Pets in Gosport. We actually couldn't be happier. So they sent her home with all the medicines that she needs. So she's on antibiotics, something for her liver, something to help her appetite, two drugs for her liver, and of course insulin, which I'm going to show you another day. We keep some honey ready, so if we find her in a diabetic crisis, we rub that onto her gums. She's had to go onto a pure protein diet, and they've also given us, you okay there? They've also given us a wound care pack to sort of follow, which is amazing to have the pictures. So if you are if you're doing O-tube feeding, I'm sure you'll get something like this from your vet. It really does help. I mean, I'm a medical professional, and I haven't done feeding through a tube in a very long time. So to have the pictures actually was very, very handy. So I can't thank them enough. And then later on, so at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the evening, she has her insulin, which I have to keep in the fridge. But I'm going to do a whole new video on how to give a diabetic cat their insulin for you another day. But so that is her O-tube feeding. So that's her O-tube feeding done, and she seems perfectly happy. So she's now just having a little drink. So from us, so I hope you found that easy to follow. The main thing is basically to occlude the tube while you're putting the syringes on. That's the main thing, to stop air getting in, and make sure it's flushed. If it is in any way blocked, apparently you can use a little bit of fizzy water, just a few mils, just to loosen up the tube. Any other problems, I would go straight back to the vet, really. But she's putting on some weight. She's doing okay. As you know, she's our baby. She's having a nice little drink there. We were really shocked to find out that she was diabetic. It came on all of a sudden as well, really. But she's the love of our life, and she's worth every penny. So my main other sort of advice is to make sure you have insurance. We're very lucky to be covered by Pet Plan. Worth every penny that we've ever paid out. The people at Lumbury Park and Vets for Pets in Gosport, Lumbury Park in Alton, we can't thank you enough for saving her life. So thanks very much, guys. Thanks for watching. I know it's a bit different type of video to my usual, but I was trying to Google it on YouTube and on the internet when she first came home with the O-tube. To be fair, it hasn't stopped her. She's starting to be more lively every day. So just the wound care is really important, and I might get around to doing a video for that as well. But just thank you to everybody that sent messages of kindness for Henry and good wishes. And that's it from us. Yes, I know. Okay, bye-bye. bye.